Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. Don't raise your voice, improve your argument. Forgiving is not forgetting, it's actually remembering. Remembering and not using your right to hit back. Good sense does not always lie with the loudest shouters, nor can we say that a large, unruly crowd is always the best arbiter of what is right. We may be surprised at the people we find in heaven. God has a soft spot for sinners. His standards are quite low. Differences are not intended to separate, to alienate. We are different precisely in order to realize our need of one another. When we see others as the enemy, we risk becoming what we hate. When we oppress others, we end up oppressing ourselves. There comes a point where we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We are made for goodness. We are made for love. We are made for friendliness. We are made for togetherness. In the end, what matters is not how good we are, but how good God is. Like when you sit in front of a fire in winter, you are just there in front of the fire. You don't have to be smart or anything. The fire warms you. Language is very powerful. Language does not just describe reality. Language creates the reality it describes. Religion is like a knife. You can either use it to cut bread, or stick in someone's back. We are made for loving. If we don't love, we will be like plants without water. It is through weakness and vulnerability that most of us learn empathy and compassion, and discover our soul. You don't choose your family. They are God's gift to you, as you are to them. Dear child of God, I am sorry to say that suffering is not optional. A person is a person through other persons. You can't be human in isolation. You are human only in relationships. We must be ready to learn from one another, not claiming that we alone possess all truth, and that somehow we have a corner on God. There is nothing more difficult than waking someone who is only pretending to be asleep. Give a man a fish, and feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and feed him for a lifetime. Teach a man to cycle, and he will realize fishing is stupid and boring. Forgiveness does not relieve someone of responsibility for what they have done. Our maturity will be judged by how well we are able to agree to disagree, and yet continue to love one another. Be nice to whites, they need you to rediscover their humanity. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Discovering more joy does not save us from the inevitability of hardship and heartbreak. If you want to keep people subjugated, the last thing you place in their hands is a Bible. We are not responsible for what breaks us, but we can be responsible for what puts us back together again. Though wrong gratifies in the moment, good yields its gifts over a lifetime.